Hello lovelies, welcome back. Welcome to episode 7, satay beef and cheap fried rice. Alright, let's just get cracking straight into it. So first we're going to prepare our cheap fried rice. So what we need for that is we need 6 spring onions. We need an extra 2 spring onions for decoration at the end. I've got 8 slices of bacon, rashers of bacon tops there. If you've got the full length ones, use 6. I've got just over 1/4 cup of frozen peas. We need soy sauce. Now I like using the long grain rice, but any rice is better than no rice. So if you don't have long grain rice, just use whatever rice you got, okay? If you've got some bean sprouts, we just want a handful of them, and 3 eggs. Alright, so what we're going to do first is the rice. Alright, big saucepan of water. We want 1.5 cups of raw uncooked rice straight in there. Now we want it 1.5 cups. We want to get it up to the boil, and then when it boils, just turn it down a bit so it's like a simmer. You don't need rice boiling its guts off. Now when you know it's ready is if you eat a little bit and it sticks your teeth together, it's not ready yet. And if you're really unsure if it's ready yet or not, you can take it off the heat right near the end. Take it off the heat and leave it sit there for 5 minutes. It'll absorb up all the water and you'll definitely have it cooked and ready to go. Once we've cooked it, we want to drain it really well in a colander, okay? And then once it's drained really well, we want to let it go completely cold in that colander. While our rice is cooking, we're going to get a big bowl. We're going to get our 6 spring onions. We're going to slice them really, really thin. We're going to get our bacon and we're going to chop it in little squares, and we're going to put them both in the same bowl. Make sure you don't forget to keep constantly stirring your rice while you're cooking it. I give it a stir every couple of minutes. Okay, now that I've got them chopped up, both of them chopped up, I'm going to stick my frozen peas in there. I'm going to wrap it in Glad Wrap and I'm going to stick it in the fridge. Now they're in the fridge, we're going to slice up our next 2 spring onions really thin, stick them in a little bowl and set them aside so we can decorate at the end. Alright, put our 3 eggs in a bowl, whisk them up with a fork and get out a little frying pan. Alright, I'm just waiting for that to heat up. We want it on medium heat and we want to heat it up. I just want to say to all those Victorians out there, we love you all from South Australia, and I hope you all get through this. I really hope you do. I feel so sorry for the aged care homes over there. It's absolutely terrible what's happening at the minute. But yeah, much love to you all. Okay, a little bit of oil. Move it around a bit. Stick our egg in. Now we just want to cook it on this side until we can't see any liquid. Well, almost no liquid, like a saw, just a little bit on top. Okay, put some black pepper in, optional. Stuff around with it until you can get it whole. If it has to cook a bit longer, let it. Once you can pick it up in one go, you want to flip it. Alright, I want to cook the other side. Oh, look at that, what a mess. Cook the other side, exactly the same, and then we want to flick it out onto our chopping board. Just another minute or so. Now you can absolutely cook your rice the night before, because once it goes cold we're going to chuck it in the fridge for half an hour while we're doing the meat and everything, right? So if you want to do it the night before, you can leave it in there overnight or whatever, and it makes it really easy the next day when you go to do it all. Alright, I flicked the egg out. I've given it a minute or 2 to cool down a bit, otherwise it's too hard to handle. Alright, we want to roll it nice and tight. Like a saw. And then we want to cut it really, really thin. I want it to look like that. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, once that's cooled right down, stick it on a plate, cover it in Glad Wrap and chuck her in the fridge. Alright, now our rice is cooled right down. We want to put it into a big bowl. Now we want to put it into the fridge uncovered. Do not cover it. And every 10 minutes, because we're going to do our get our meat ready next for our satay beef. And every 10 minutes you want to go and give it a stir, because all the rice on top is what dries out when it's in the fridge, and that's what we're trying to do, dry it out. Onto the meat. Oh, look at this. Oh my God, mate. 750 grams of fillet steak. Now if you can, get it in one big piece because it's a lot easier to cut up. But I couldn't get it in one big piece, so I got it as it is. It is expensive. It cost me $19 for that. But treat yourself every now and again. It is so yummy. Alright, so get a bowl ready. Now what we want to do is we want to clean it up if there's anything to clean up. And then we want to slice it into 1/2 centimetre strips. So 1/2 centimetre, oh gosh. I'm terrible with stuff like that. I'll just go for it. Alright, I'm going to guess that's roughly 1/2 centimetre. Okay. So once we've done that, you want to get a meat mallet. If you don't have one, use a hammer and put a bit of glare up over it to keep it clean. Now we don't want to beat the shit out of it. We just want to give it a light touch up. Alright, so just a light one. Turn it over. Another light one. I'm not doing it hard. Bang, in the bowl she goes. And do the whole lot. Mate, there's nothing more soothing than beating on a bit of meat. What a wanker. Alright, move that aside. And now we're going to do the marinade for it. So we need a cup, a fork. Now we need 3 tablespoons of water in there. We are now going to put in 3 teaspoons of sesame oil. 2.5 teaspoons of soy sauce goes in next. Crack some pepper in there. Like that. And then last but not least, we need 1.5 teaspoons of cornflour. We want to get our fork, mix it in really, really well. Now we get our meat and we pour it over it. And then mix it into it really, really well. Cover it up and stick it in the fridge until we're ready to cook everything. Now we're going to get a couple of things ready for when we cook the meat. So the first thing we want to do is, if you've got cloves of garlic, you want to get 2 cloves of garlic and peel them and set them aside ready to crush. Otherwise I'm just using the jar one as usual, get that out ready. Okay, so now we need 2 medium onions and we need to chop them up into like squares, cubes, just roughly. Oh, they are the strongest mofo onions ever made. Oh my god, I can hardly see. Alright, once you've done that, wrap them up and set them aside. Now we're going to make our, I can't even think. Oh, eyes are watering so hard, mate. Now we're going to make our satay sauce for our beef. Alrighty, cup and fork. Okay, so first of all we need 4 tablespoons of water in there. Now we need 6 teaspoons of satay sauce. Now I got this one from the Asian section of the supermarket. I like getting the jar ones from there because they're a lot stronger. But if you haven't got them, any satay sauce will do. If you've got bottled satay sauce, just use it, alright? So we want 6 teaspoons into the cup. Next we need dry sherry. Okay, I use this one. So just go into your bottle shop, ask for a cheap dry sherry for cooking. This one cost me about $9. It lasts you a couple of years and you can just swap them over every couple of years. And you do use them in a lot of stuff, okay? So, what did I say? 4 teaspoons of dry sherry in there. Now we need 2 teaspoons. I use Keen's curry powder, but you can use any curry powder you've got. And if you don't have curry powder, on my channel I do have a recipe for homemade curry powder. Use 2 teaspoons of that or this, alright? So 2 teaspoons in there. Did I say 2 teaspoons? Oh, wow. Extra special today, folks. Roughly 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1 teaspoon of just plain white sugar. And 4 teaspoons of soy sauce. Then we're going to mix it up, soy sauce. Then we're going to mix it up really, really well. And put some glare up over the top and set it aside. And we can start cooking. I've got to go get the rugrats from school. And then when I get back, we'll start cooking. Alrighty, kids are all sorted. Now we can actually cook everything. Oh yeah. Okay, first of all, I'm going to preheat my oven to 150 degrees Celsius. And I'm going to have a oven tray, heat proof tray ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to fry up our rice first. I'm going to stick it in the oven tray, put alfoil over it and chuck it in the oven to keep it nice and hot. while we do our meat. First thing we want to do is get all our ingredients out for our fried rice. Alright, so make sure we've got some soy sauce handy. I've got my bean sprouts ready. We've got our peas, bacon and spring onion cut up in a bowl ready. We've got our egg out ready to go, and we've got our rice out ready to go. Alright, now we want to get our wok out, and we want to put it on between medium and high, in between medium and high. So we want it hot, but we don't want to burn the crap out of everything. Once our wok's heated up, we want to put roughly a tablespoon of oil in there. I'm just using olive oil today, but you can use any oil you want. The first thing we want to do is put our bowl of bacon, peas and spring onion in there. And we just want to cook it up for a couple of minutes until the bacon's cooked. Alright, once you've cooked it to how you like it, I'm not having it all crunchy or anything. I'm just heating it through. Yum. When you start smelling it, you know it's ready. Okay, next thing you want to do is start putting your rice in. Now you can use as little or as much as this as you want. I always say, oh, I won't use it all, but I always end up using it all. So I'll just generally put a few in at a time, mix that up. Another few in, mix it up. In goes our egg. And a handful of bean sprouts if you've got them. Toss it all around for about a minute. Once we've tossed it around, now we want to add our soy sauce. You can have between 1, 2 and 3 tablespoonfuls. Now the kids aren't eating it tonight, my partner is, so he likes a lot of it. So I'm just going to do one go like I saw, which would be a tablespoon. Mix that in first. If you have to, taste test. Alright, we're going to go 1 more tablespoon. Then I'm going to mix it up really, really well. Then I'm going to get it straight off and put it into the oven dish. Put the alfoil over it and whack it straight in the oven. Then we're going to clean our wok up really quickly. Put it back on the stove top and get it up to hot again in between 3/4 and full. Alrighty, we're heating our wok back up again. Now you don't have to get it spotless, just make sure all the rice is out of it. Now you want to get your meat out. You want to give it a good mix in again. Now when we go to put it in there, it's going to be stuck together a little bit. That'll be from the cornflour. So just make sure as you put it in, you put them in all single pieces, okay? So we're now going to put 3 tablespoons roughly of oil in there. Grab a pair of tongs and an egg flip. Just coach it all out. Okay, so now we want to put our meat in. Get a plate ready to put your meat back on, because all we're doing is browning it, okay? We only want to brown it, we don't want to cook it. So just put a few in at a time. Oh, that could be a bit hotter, I'll put them up there for a minute. Alright, and we just want to brown both sides and then straight out onto a plate. Okay, now we've got our meat very lightly browned and we've got all our beautiful juices in there. We want to whack in the 2 onions that we've already chopped up, and we want to put our 2 cloves of crushed garlic, or our 2 heaped teaspoons of jar garlic in there. We want to fry it up for a couple of minutes until the onions see through. Alrighty, a couple of minutes later, we've got our translucent onion. Okay, get that cup of satay sauce we made up. Give it a really, really good stir and chuck her in. Now, as soon as it comes up to the boil, we want to chuck our meat back in. Alright, so as soon as that starts boiling, we chuck all the meat in. Then we mix it all around, mix it in really well, and we basically only need to cook it for about 4 minutes. It doesn't take long until the meat's cooked through. So if you have to, get a big piece out and check it and make sure it's cooked. But yeah, it really only takes about 4 minutes. You want it beautiful and soft and tender. Oh baby. It sucks this kitchen's got such terrible lights. I've got all these little lights on all over the place just trying to get it bright enough for you to see. Because you just can't see the actual proper colours of all the food, which is really, really annoying. Because they're just amazing. Oh, it's so good. Alright, so we're just waiting for the boil. There we go. Okay, in with the meat. Mix it all in really well. And cook away for about 4 minutes. Oh, 5 minutes later it took, and she is good to go. You can't see. I'll see if I can get it to. I don't know if you can see that properly. Mate, it is just an amazing colour. Alright, take it straight off and plate up. A boom. Satay beef, mate. Oh yeah. Well, there you have it, my friends. I'm so sorry about the lighting. Oh, it's unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you prep everything first, it's really easy to make. Oh, look at this, just yum. Have an awesome day. I'll be back. Bye.